Welcome to Reddit. Please take 2 seconds to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on our daily videos. I need friends. Subscribe bless. People of Reddit, who have you mistakenly walked in on having sex and what is your story? I was probably 13 and home on a Saturday night. My parents had been drinking and listening to loud music in the living room, so I was in my bedroom. Around 10 PM I no longer heard music or talking, so I decided to go watch TV in the living room. Walked in on my parents doing it with all the lights on. They didn't see me and I immediately turned around and went back the way I came, mortified. Unfortunately we lived in an older house, so they heard the floors creaking as I rushed back to my bedroom. A few minutes later I heard my parents drunkenly stumbling down the hall, so I turned off my bedroom light and jumped into bed, pretending to be asleep. I heard them knock on my brother's bedroom door next to mine. He was 10. Since he was still awake and playing video games in his bedroom, my parents assumed he had been the one who walked in on them. My dad, who was pretty drunk at the time, launched into an hour-long awkward talk about the birds and the bees while my brother sat completely confused as to what the duck was going on. Hahaha, at least you got to share the trauma with your brother, in a pretty hilarious way, I might add. Innocently sitting there playing games and minding your own business. Dad knocks on the door. Hey son, so your mum and I were just making love and I feel the need to explain a few things to you. LMROO, fuck, that's awesome. And sometimes daddies can't make a baby unless the mommy is choking them. I had a hotel room booked on a trip to Queensland, Australia, and they gave me the key to a room that was apparently already inhabited. Walked into a lovely couple enjoying some doggy style action. Immediately closed the door. They hadn't heard me thankfully, and went back to explain the mistake to front desk. They were mortified and moved me to a penthouse room with amazing views of the waterfront along with some free chocolates and dinner. Free dinner and a free show. I hope you left a good review. 10 out 10 would come again. The fucking view was amazing and the view was fucking amazing. I was a pizza delivery boy fresh out of high school, and the place I worked for had a 25-minute delivery guarantee happening at the time. Between placing the order and me arriving to their house, I'd arrived within 10 minutes as the address was close by. They decided that'd be a good time to get down to business. I arrived, walked up to their open front door and knocked. In full view of the front door, they were going at it like rabbits. The woman, hearing me knock, hastily covered herself exclaiming OMG OMG, while the man just casually walked to the door completely naked and erect with his cash. He even stood there waiting while I counted out his change. It was probably the most awkward thing I've ever encountered. Edit. Spelling and grammar. Edit 2. No tip. I was a pizza delivery boy. Say no more. After this incident, he became a pizza delivery man. You took me by the hand. You made me a man. That one night, you made everything alright. That was a $200 plasma TV. Good luck paying me back on your $0 a year salary plus benefits, babe. I had that happen too. You were supposed to take longer to get here. I also had a delivery where when I knocked, the door instantly opened and a young girl junior high age was running in a sheet away from the door yelling come in. Another young girl was in a pull-out bed in the front room yelling why did you do that? Why did you do that? She was frantically covering herself with a sheet. I was confused. Then the smell of sex hit me. At that moment, I pictured dad coming home and me there with these 2 teen girls smelling of sex, me being beaten and jailed. I got the fuck out of there and they got blacklisted at the store. Wait, what? Sounds like the first girl was fucking with the other girl, also fucking her. Don't put me on a what list. That's what it looked like to me, and that's why I got out of there as fast as I could. I work security on my campus. There were a few times walking in on couples making out or something, but one time I walked into the art building to close it up. I normally didn't check the basement because there wasn't ever really anyone down there. It's a play costume area. This night there was a play earlier, so I decided to check it. I walked through and there was this one door closed, but it had a small glass window. I saw one girl with her legs spread and another girl with her face in between them eating her out pretty voraciously. I knocked on the door and kinda ran and cleared the rest of the building, then went and checked to make sure they had left. I go to a small school, so I knew who the girls were. The eater is married now to a guy. I never really told anybody about it. The eater LMO. I thought for a while on how to phrase it. The comical route seemed like the best. My usual go-to for the eater is cunningest. Just gives it little bit of panache. I threw a house party and put a sign on my bedroom saying off limits. A friend told me he heard someone in my room, so I entered and saw the prom queen riding a buddy of mine. I quickly exited the room. Later that night he came up to me and said, "I'm sorry about having sex in your bed, but at least you got to see Alexa naked." We cool and we shook hands and never spoke of it again. Was seeing Alexa naked worth it? 100%. Had the same question. It's not that exciting. Just get an Echo Dot, take out the bottom 4 screws and tada, Alexa, show me dem titties. Did it all the time as a college security guard. Cars, dorm lounges, classrooms left open for study late at night. Hell, even sidewalks. Always worried the cars were rapes in progress. Most of the rest were just move along. We were near a red light district, so a few were likely prostitutes. Too old for college. A couple that stand out was a guy eating a girl in a car, and when I spoke to him he said they weren't doing anything and his face had pubes all over it. Another, when we hit the lights, the man jumped over the back seat into the front and managed to spunk as he was mid-air. Would never have believed it. This was the 80s, so crushed velvet was still fairly common in car upholstery. That's gonna be hard to get out. The worst week for it was a junior high Bible camp. They'd rented a dorm for a week in the summer. Kids everywhere having sex. Walked in on 2 in the classroom building we kept open for late night study. Boy grabbed his clothes and ran. Girl, probably about 14, left naked alone in the room. She got a lecture about the value of picking a guy who won't run out on her, leaving her vulnerable to some unknown man walking in on her. G's just left her behind to fend for herself. A couple broke into our bell tower. People wanted to go up there to have sex. I had a couple of students offer to bribe me to let them in. I've been up there, if you don't know. A tall bell tower will likely have bird crap all over the place. It reeks. It's not likely to keep her in the mood. So did you take their money and let them discover the bird shit on their own? It would take more money than a poor student would have to bribe me. Reminds me of what a professor of mine said about students bringing him coffee. If this is a gift, it's far too large. If it's a bribe, it's far too small. Thank you for watching. Got a similar story? Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe to Reddit for more daily Reddit goodness. Subscribe, bless.